Hello. So in this set, we have Anjali, Bipasha, Chitra. They visited an entertainment park that has 4 rides, ride 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now each ride lasts for 1 hour and can accommodate one visitor only at a point. And all rides begin at 9 a.m. and must be completed by 5 p.m. except for ride 3, for which the last ride has to be completed by 1 p.m. So, and I'm looking at the question, what we need to do over here is we need to basically figure out which ride is being taken by which person during what particular time slot. Okay. So it's sort of a timeline question where you have 1 hour, the ride starts from 9 a.m. and it goes on till 5 p.m. except for ride 3. For ride 3, the last ride has to be completed by 1 p.m. So after 1 p.m. ride 3 is not going to be functioning. Okay. So what we'll have is ride 3 will have no one riding after 1 p.m. So no one will be riding it. Okay? Cool. Now it's given that only one person can take a ride at any particular point of time. Okay? Ride gates open at every 30 minutes. So for each ride, the gates open at an interval of 30 minutes. So the first time gates open at 9, and then after that 9:30, and then at 10, then 10:30, then 11, 11:30 and so on. Okay? Next, whenever a ride gate opens and there is no visitor inside, the first visitor waiting in the queue buys the ticket just before taking the ride. So a visitor will buy a ticket just before taking a ride, and he will buy a ticket if there is no one waiting, no one is there already on the ride. If someone is already taking a ride, then the person will have to wait. As soon as the ride gets free, the person will buy the ticket and get onto the ride. Okay? So this is given. The ticket prices are rupees 20, 50, 30 and 40 for rides 1 to 4. 20, 50, 30 and 40 respectively. Each of the 3 visitors took at least one ride and did not necessarily take all the rides. Okay, fairly simple. Next is, none of them took the same ride more than once. Okay, great. The movement time from one ride to another is negligible. So for example, if Anjali completes a ride at 10 a.m., exactly at 10 a.m. she can start the second ride or the other ride as well. There is no waiting time, as in not waiting time, but there is no time to go from one ride to the other ride. That time is negligible. That means 0. And a visitor leaves the ride immediately after the completion of the ride. So it's not like what happens normally. It takes half an hour for the ride and it takes another 1 hour just to get down everyone from the ride. So that's not happening. Now no one takes a break inside the park unless mentioned explicitly. So breaks will be considered only when they are mentioned. If it is not mentioned, we will not consider any breaks for anyone. Okay? Let's look at the 4 points that are given here. Chitra never waited in the queue and completed her visit by 11 a.m. after spending 50 rupees to pay for the tickets. Okay, Chitra completed her visit by 11 a.m. Okay, so whatever rides Chitra has to take, she will take it between 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. and she spends a total of 50 rupees. Now, how can Chitra spend a total of 50 rupees? Either Chitra can take just one ride, which is ride 2, or she can take ride 1 and ride 3, combination of these two. Okay? So we'll look at it later. We'll come back to it. Anjali took one ride at 11 a.m. after waiting for, okay, so took ride 1, Anjali took ride 1 at 11 a.m. after waiting for 30 minutes for Chitra to complete it. Okay. So Anjali basically waited, she took her first ride at 11 a.m. after waiting for 30 minutes. That means from 10:30 till 11, Anjali was waiting. Okay. She was waiting for whom? For Chitra to complete this ride, and as soon as at 11 a.m. the ride is completed, Anjali takes this ride. Okay. So this basically means that ride 1 was taken by Chitra from 10 to 11. That's why the ride wasn't free till 11. As soon as the ride gets free at 11, Anjali takes it from 11 to 12. So now it's given that Chitra pays a total of 50 rupees for the tickets. So if she pays 20 rupees for ride 1, that means she will have to spend another 30 rupees for ride 3, and ride 3 Chitra can take between 9 to 10 only. It takes exactly 1 hour to complete each ride, right? It's given somewhere. Kahan diya hai? Each ride lasts for 1 hour. So Chitra spent 50 rupees. Fine. Anjali spends 20 rupees on ride 1 from 11 to 12. Cool. So far so good. And it was the only ride where Anjali waited. Okay. So this is the only ride where Anjali waited. So Anjali will not wait for any other ride. Cool. Fine. Now Bipasha began her first of the 3 rides at 11:30. So Bipasha takes a total of 3 rides. Which of these 3 rides we don't know, but she starts at 11:30, and it's given that all 3 visitors incurred the same amount of ticket expense by 12:15. Acha, very good. So by 12:15 we know Chitra has already completed her 2 rides and she has spent a total of 50 by 12:15. So if Chitra has spent 50 rupees by 12:15, that means all of them would have spent 50 rupees by 12:15. Okay, so Bipasha, who is starting at 11:30, her first ride will be from 11:30 till 12:30. That means she would have taken only 1 ride till 12:15, or in fact her first ride will be ongoing at 12:15. So she would have spent amount only for 1 ride, and that amount that she spends must be 50 rupees, because all of them spend 50 rupees till 12:15. So the only ride where Bipasha could have spent 50 rupees is ride 2. That means Bipasha must have taken ride 2 starting from 11:30 till 12:30. So Chitra has spent 50 rupees till 12:15. Bipasha has spent 50 rupees till 12:15. 12:15 will be somewhere here, right? So Anjali also has to spend 50 rupees till 12:15, since all of them spend the same amount of time or same amount of rupees. So Anjali till 12 has spent already 20 rupees. That means she has to spend another 30 rupees. That means she will take another ride 3 at 12. She does not wait any further, right? This is the only ride. Ride 1 was the only ride where Anjali waited. That's given, right? So for the next ride, Anjali will not wait, and Anjali will start at 12 itself as soon as she gets free from the first ride. So ride 3 will be taken by Anjali starting from 12. And now what happens is, even by 12:15 at this point of time, Anjali has spent 20 rupees here, 30 rupees here, total 50. Bipasha has taken just 1 ride and she has spent 50 rupees. Chitra has spent 20 plus 30, 50 rupees so far. Okay. And now coming to this last point, the last ride taken by Anjali and Bipasha was the same. Okay. Now what could be this last ride which was taken by Anjali and Bipasha? So it could be either this ride, Anjali takes this ride, this can be the last ride of Anjali, fine. But can this be the last ride for Bipasha? No, it cannot be the last ride for Bipasha. Even this one cannot be the last ride for Bipasha. So ride 1 is not the last ride for Anjali, so this cannot be the last ride for both of them. This is the first ride for Bipasha, so this cannot be the last ride. Even this cannot be the last ride for Bipasha, because Bipasha cannot start this ride till 12:30, because Anjali is over here. So the last ride for both Bipasha and Anjali must be ride 4. Okay? Now what is given about ride 4 is, the last ride for Anjali Bipasha is same. This is ride 4, where Bipasha waited 30 minutes for Anjali to complete her ride. So Anjali took this last ride before Bipasha, and Bipasha was waiting for 30 minutes for Anjali to complete this ride. And before standing in the queue for that ride, Bipasha took a 1 hour coffee break after completing her previous ride. Okay, so Bipasha was waiting for 30 minutes. Okay, we are talking about Bipasha. Before this break of 30 minutes, Bipasha took a 1 hour coffee break. So 1 hour coffee break is 60 minutes. Okay, that means Bipasha was doing nothing for this 90 minutes. After which she took her last ride, and that last ride must have been for 60 minutes. Now again over here, it was given that Bipasha began her first of the 3 rides at 11:30. So from 11:30 to 12:30, Bipasha took her first ride. After that, Bipasha must have taken her second ride. And after that, she must have gone for a coffee break. Then she would have waited 30 minutes for her third ride. And then she took her third ride. Okay. So first ride for Bipasha. Then second ride for Bipasha. Then she takes a 1 hour coffee break. Then 30 minutes she waits for her last ride. And then she takes her last ride for 60 minutes. Fine. So total how long was Bipasha there in the entertainment park? 60 minutes for this one, 60 minutes for the second ride, and then 60 plus 30 plus 60 minutes. So 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour, 3 hours plus 1 hour 4 plus half an hour. 4.5 hours she was there. So if she starts at 11:30 and she finished her last ride after 4.5 hours, that means she finished her last ride from 3 to 4. So 3 to 4, this must have been Bipasha. This must have been Bipasha's last ride. That means Anjali was taking this ride before Bipasha. So this must have been Anjali. And Bipasha was waiting for half an hour here. Right? And Bipasha was waiting for 30 minutes here. And before that she took a 1 hour coffee break. Okay? So Bipasha took a 1 hour coffee break from 1:30 to 2:30. From 2:30 till 3, Bipasha waited for 30 minutes, right? And then she took her last ride from 3 to 4. Fine. That means before 3 to 4, before this 1 hour, Anjali would have taken her ride. So Anjali takes her ride from 2 to 3. Okay. But even before, so this must be Anjali here, and we know Bipasha takes her second ride from 12:30. 11:30 to 12:30 is her first ride. Second ride is from 12:30 to 1:30. After that she takes a coffee break. So 12:30 to 1:30, what ride can she take? She obviously cannot take this ride because one person takes one ride only once. She cannot take this ride because this is not free at 12:30. So only ride free at 12:30 is ride 1. So Bipasha takes ride 1 from 12:30 to 1:30. After that she waits for 1 hour, she takes a coffee break of 1 hour. Then she waits for 30 minutes and then finally she takes her last ride 3 to 4, from 3 to 4. And before this Anjali must have taken the ride 3 from 2 to 3. Okay. And between 1 to 2, what would Anjali have done? Anjali would have taken the ride between 1 to 2. Since it's given that until and unless stated, no one takes a break. So it's given that Anjali does not take a break it's not given that Anjali takes a break. So we will assume that Anjali does not take a break. It's explicitly mentioned until and unless otherwise stated, assume that no breaks are taken. So from 1 to 2, it's not mentioned that Anjali takes a break. Hence, and no waiting time is also given obviously. That means it's given that Anjali does not wait for any other ride. Except here, Anjali does not wait for any other ride. It's given. So Anjali will not wait for any other ride. That means Anjali cannot wait for her fourth ride which starts at 2. So what would have Anjali done between 1 to 2? She cannot take a break and she cannot take a ride. That means she cannot take a break and she cannot wait for a ride. That means she must have taken a ride, and the only ride available between 1 to 2 is ride 2. So this completes our whole scheduling of Chitra, Anjali and Bipasha in the park. Let us look at the questions now. First question is, what was the total amount spent on tickets by Bipasha? So Bipasha took ride 1, 2 and 4. So ride 1 is 20, ride 2 is 50, 20 plus 50 is 70, plus 40 for ride 4. So 70 plus 40 is 110. Option A is the right answer here. Next, which were all the rides Anjali completed by 2 p.m.? So by 2 p.m., by this time 2 p.m., Anjali has completed ride 1, 2 and 3. Only ride 4 is remaining. So ride 1, 2 and 3, option D is the right answer. Next question, which ride was taken by all the 3 visitors? Okay. So is there a ride which was taken by all 3 visitors? Ride 1 is taken by Chitra, Anjali and Bipasha all 3. So ride 1 is there. Ride 2 is taken only by Bipasha and Anjali. Ride 3 is only taken by Chitra and Anjali. Ride 4 is only taken by Anjali and Bipasha. So only ride 1 was taken by all the 3 visitors. Next question, how many rides did Anjali and Chitra take in total? So Anjali we know took 1, 2, 3, 4 rides for Anjali and 2 rides for Chitra. So 4 plus 2 is 6. Anjali and Chitra together took 6 rides. And finally, what was the total amount spent on tickets by Anjali? So we know Anjali took all the 4 rides. Hence the total amount Anjali spent would be sum of all the tickets of ride 1, 2, 3 and 4. So 20 plus 50 is 70, plus 30 is 100, plus 40 is 140. So the answer to this question is 140. Right, so that's it for the set. Thank you.